First it was cottage cheese, then Greek yogurt, and now it's the pickles time to shine. I've been seeing recipes using pickle everywhere and they're going viral. So I thought we'd put them to the test and see if they're really worth the buzz. First, I'm gonna make a pickle sandwich. If you've seen my video where I make sandwiches without using bread, you've probably already seen one of these that I'm gonna make. It was one that went viral a few years ago. I'll show you how to make that one in a minute, but first I wanna show you how to make the viral pickle breadwich. What's a pickle breadwich? Well, it's a sandwich that you make using sliced pickles and shredded cheese. Sounds strange, but everybody who makes this recipe loves it. Let's start by shredding some cheddar cheese. Whenever you can, you want to try and freshly grate your cheese because two reasons. One, freshly grated cheese doesn't have those fillers in it. Like pre-grated cheese has anti-caking agents in it that prevent it from sticking together, and that's why it's shelf stable like that. But the unfortunate side of having those anti-caking agents is that your cheese doesn't melt very good when you microwave it or when you bake it in the oven. So it's not gonna melt like freshly grated cheese would. It is an extra step, but totally worth it. Plus, I mean, you don't really wanna be consuming anti-caking agents. I mean, they say they're safe, but are they? And I'm shredding around 1 or 2 cups of cheddar cheese here. Ideally, you wanna make it around 1 cup of cheese just because of the calories. Now onto the pickles. I'm using these pre-sliced pickles. They're usually called stackers or plank pickles. And these are dill pickles too. You could use the bread and butter flavored pickles, but those are usually sweet and have sugar in them, so I actually don't like the taste too. I'm gonna avoid those. You'll need 8 slices total to make one sandwich, which would be 4 slices per bread. And you also wanna make sure they're about the same size. Pickles are one of those snacks that make sense when you're eating low carb. I mean, not only are they low in carbs, they're low calorie, they have a crunch, and you don't have to overthink them. I mean, there's not really any fancy prep you have to do with a pickle. It's not complicated ingredients. It's literally like a cucumber that's been pickled. Plus, it's a great way to add any sort of salty, tangy flavor to pretty much anything without having to up your carb count. And I'll show you a recipe that does just that later on. And then you gotta blot them dry. No moisture. Moisture is not your friend in this recipe, apparently. Set my pickles aside. Then using half of your cheddar cheese, make 2 rectangles on a parchment lined baking tray. And I think I did overshred some of the cheese here because this seems like a lot of cheese. Then lay down the pickle slices on top of the cheese, just making sure that the edges of the slices are touching each other because I know that they will spread out as they bake. And then sprinkle the remaining cheese on top of the pickles, again, making sure that we're keeping it into a squarish rectangle shape. Then press the cheese into the pickles just to make sure it sticks when it bakes, because you don't want that cheese that's on top just to slide off of your pickle. Then this bakes in a 375 Fahrenheit oven for around 10 minutes or until the edges are crispy and golden. And I noticed 2 things when baking these. First, the slices, even though they started out touching, they actually spread out when baking. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change like the texture or the stability of your pickle bread, but just something I noticed. And 2, I did feel like I had to flip my baking tray in the oven just because only one side was getting golden and crispy. So I wanted that other side to also get golden and crispy. Meanwhile, let's just contemplate about the concept of a pickle breadwich sandwich. I mean, a couple years ago now, like we had like the bell pepper sandwich, we had the cheese, using cheese as crust, tomato, I did one with avocado. There's all these different things, and I still just think they're a little ridiculous because I thought a lot of those options were ridiculous too. So we'll see how good this turns out, but I do not have high hopes for this, mostly because the thought of, I mean, I love pickles, but the thought of eating that much cheese, I mean, that's 2 cups of cheese. I think I used a little less than that with this recipe that I'm following, but that's a lot of freaking cheese. Then plus I think you're supposed to put cheese in your sandwich too. And I mean, I'm all for it. Like I love pizza. I love greasy cheese on pizza, but I don't necessarily like it all the time. And I was never a big fan of like the cheese sandwich where you're using like sprinkled cheese as your bread. So I don't know.
I don't have high hopes for this.
Meanwhile, I have cooked up some bacon in the microwave just so we can make a club sandwich. Now that the edges are golden on both sides, I remove it from the oven to cool, and as it cools, the cheese is gonna solidify.
You smell the bacon, don't you? Or do you smell the cheese? Do you want a cheese pickle sandwich? Do you want a cheese sandwich? Melted cheese? String cheese?
Now that our pickle bread has cooled, it's time to assemble my sandwich. You can add your favorite sandwich fixings. I'm using lettuce, tomato, more cheese because I guess I don't have enough, turkey, and that bacon that I cooked up. And then I'm gonna add some mayo. And don't judge this mayo. I ran out of avocado mayo, which is what I usually use on my sandwiches. This mayo my kids use because they don't like the flavor of avocado mayo.
Just a little bit more grease because I don't think the cheese is enough grease for us.
And that's it. This is our pickle breadwich sandwich. Oh my God. Oh, a bird just hit the window. Oh, poor baby. Gosh darn it. I specifically don't clean my windows for that reason. I feel bad. Poor guy. Okay, back to the sandwich. What was I talking about? The main thing I noticed about this thing is that it is greasy. You definitely need paper towels or napkins at the ready when you're eating this sandwich. The flavor, it tastes like the bread is made from pickle and melted cheese. So it's not bad, but it's just so greasy. And I think also because I added cheese to my sandwich and there's bacon and there's mayo, it's a lot of fat. So definitely keto approved. But overall, I just don't think it's worth it because we do have good keto bread available to purchase at the grocery store. Or you could even make your own. Use my 90-second keto bread recipe if you want to make a sandwich. It's good, but not that good to make again and again and again, and then you're just gonna be left with greasy fingers. So not worth it in my opinion, but if you want to try it, you definitely should. Just go to ketofocus.com for the recipe. In contrast to the greasy sandwich, I'm gonna show you how to make the OG pickle sandwich that I showed you how to make in my sandwich video a few years back. This one is not greasy. Now to be honest, I haven't made it since I made that video, but I remember liking it. This time we need some whole pickles because once again, the pickle is gonna be our bread in this sandwich.
This whole video, I suggest you getting an entire roll of paper towels. Whether you're blotting off pickles or you're wiping your hands from the cheese grease, you're gonna need it. I'm just trying to find a pickle that is like not curved. Oh, this one's perfect. This is like the perfect pickle. Going with this one for my pickle sandwich.
Once you've blotted off the pickle juice from your pickle, it's time to cut it in half lengthwise like a hot dog.
The other reason why I love this one is because it's so quick to make. We don't have to bake anything. It literally takes like a minute.
And then I like to peel this innard stuff out so that our cheese and mayo and ham can fit in. Plus, this seedy part is where most of the moisture is in the pickle, so if we de-seed it and then blot it off, it won't be such a juicy mess when you eat it.
More paper towels, because we're only halfway through our roll.
Now we're ready to make our sandwich. Squeeze on some mayo. And for this, I'm gonna add just some deli ham. I love the combo of pickles and ham. It's my favorite. Just like tomato goes with turkey, pickles go with ham for sandwiches. And then add some cheese. And here's the pickle sandwich. It's not as big as the other sandwich, but it does make the perfect snack. Or meal if you want to make more than one. But after biting into this one, I realized why I haven't made it again. It's good, but it's still a juicy mess. And again, needs paper towels or napkins to be at the ready when you eat it, possibly a bib too. Pickles won't spike your blood sugar, so they're a smart snack when you're focused on staying low carb and high protein. But besides being low carb, they're packed with electrolytes too, which is actually good for hydration and to keep your energy up. That's why some people drink pickle juice for electrolytes. I know, like 5 or 6 years ago, I actually bought a gallon-sized container of pickle juice just so I could drink it for electrolytes. Plus, I love pickle juice. I thought it would be fun to make the ultimate hydration drink, Pickle Lemonade using Element electrolytes. Who's my sponsor for this video? I've actually never had Pickle Lemonade before. Sounds kind of gross, but I wanted to try it since I love pickle juice and I love lemonade. Maybe I'll like them together. Element has their new lemonade salt. It's a limited time flavor this summer, and it's one of my favorites so far. But instead of just mixing up a packet of this with some pickle juice, I'm gonna make a frozen pickle lemonade slushie with my new toy for this summer, my Ninja Slushie Maker. I got this thing for our summer camping trips and our houseboat trip. I just wanted to make some sugar-free cocktails and slushies for the kids in this. But now we're gonna make some frozen pickle lemonade. This is the ultimate salty tart refresher that seems to be getting more and more popular, even though I think it sounds strange. But it's super simple to make. I'm using 1 packet of Element's lemonade salt, a cup of pickle juice, and a cup of water. Now I could just stop here. I could pour this over ice for a super refreshing pickle lemonade. But like I said, I wanna make a slushie. So I'm pouring this into my Ninja Slushie Maker. And no need to add ice to this. This is gonna make a slushie without the ice. Now, if you didn't wanna get the Element lemonade salt electrolytes, you could just use regular lemon juice and a sweetener to make the lemonade portion. But here's why I'm using Element instead. The lemons don't really have much electrolytes in them, and pickle juice does have a lot of sodium in it, so it's great for that electrolyte portion, but Element gives the full hydration package. It has sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These are the electrolytes your body needs to stay hydrated, especially if you're low carb, if you're fasting, or if you're just living an active lifestyle like a lot of us do during the summertime, and it's hot out there too. And this new lemonade salt flavor is salty, it's tart, it's refreshing. And right now, Element is hooking you up. They're offering my viewers a free sample pack with any Element purchase. It's the perfect way to try a bunch of flavors and find your favorite. Grab yours at drinkelement.com/KetoFocus. My frozen pickle lemonade is ready.
It tastes like pickle lemonade.
I think I should try this with just the Element lemonade salt and water next time. Could you imagine a frozen electrolyte drink? Now that would be the best hydration treat. On to more recipes using pickles. Now this one is going super viral on the internet right now. I'm gonna show you how to make pickle salsa. That's right, we're making salsa out of pickles and some roasted peppers. It sounds strange, but I'll let you know my thoughts. First, let's start with pretty much all the other components that you need for making homemade salsa, except the pickles. You'll need white onion, tomato, jalapeno peppers, serrano peppers, and garlic. The recipes on TikTok all called for using 5 jalapenos, but these are so massive, I could just use 4. But I like my salsa spicy, so I'm gonna roast them all. And hopefully I don't regret it. On a foil-lined baking tray, add half of the white onion, 1 Roma tomato that's cut in half, the 5 jalapenos, and 2 serrano peppers. And I left all of these whole too. I'll cut off the stem later. Then 5 cloves of garlic. I know there's actually like 20 there. But these cloves are tiny, and if you're a garlic lover like I am, you know that when a recipe says 5 cloves of garlic, they really mean 20 cloves. I take garlic seriously. This goes in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven to roast for 20 minutes. And then I turn the oven off and just let the veggies sit in there in the closed, turned off oven for another 15 to 20 minutes while it cools. Meanwhile, I'm gonna work on the pickle part of the salsa. For this recipe, I'm using dill pickles again. You could use the bread and butter pickles. They do have more sugar in them, so that's why I don't like them. And it will make your salsa a little bit on the sweeter side. But either way, you need 1 jar. And I have a jar of spears because they're easier to work with than the chips. You need to put them in a colander and rinse them off with water just to get any excess juice and seasoning off of them. Then just let them sit in that colander to dry while your veggies are roasting. One thing though, don't get rid of your pickle juice because after you blend up your salsa, if it's a little bit too chunky and you need to add like a splash of liquid, pickle juice is perfect for that. Or you could just use it to make another pickle lemonade or just drink it straight like I do. Now that my veggies are roasted, they smell so good. I can cut off the stems of the jalapenos and serranos, but I'm gonna leave on the outside peel and seeds because I'm lazy and I don't think it matters. Add the pickles to a blender or food processor, and then add in all those delicious roasted veggies. The only thing extra to add at this point is a handful of fresh cilantro. Then we blend this all together until it's just a slightly chunky salsa, or you can blend it to oblivion. And this is where if you want to add some pickle juice, you could add it here if you think it needs it. I don't think it needs it. The consistency is perfect in my book. And now for the taste test. I actually thought this was pretty good. It's not an overwhelming pickle flavor. It tastes like a tangy salsa. And I'm glad I added those 5 massive jalapenos because it was perfect. It's really good if you want to use this as a dip for some keto crackers or chips that you might have. I think it's the perfect salsa for this summer. I can just imagine myself eating this with some chips on my front porch while sipping a sugar-free margarita. The next recipe is an oldie but goodie. It's called the sushi of the Midwest. Let's make some pickle wraps. This is hands down one of the easiest appetizers or snacks that you can make, and everybody loves it. Basically, you only need 3 ingredients: pickles, cream cheese, and some sort of deli meat. I'm gonna use ham because I love ham and pickles. Shocker. Start by blotting off the moisture from your pickles. Hopefully I still have paper towels after making this video. I'm using these big dill pickles again, but you can use small baby gherkins too. What's the difference? Alexa, what's the difference between a pickle and a gherkin?
Here's what I found. Gherkins are a smaller kind of cucumber that have been pickled, while pickles are cucumbers that have been pickled in brine or vinegar.
I don't know if that was helpful. Now, there's 2 ways that you can make your pickle wraps. I'm sure Midwesterners have a strong opinion on which way is right. You can either spread the cream cheese on your pickle and then wrap the deli meat around it, or you could spread the cream cheese on your deli meat and then wrap that around the pickle. I'm using the spreading the cream cheese on the pickle method because I'm from the Pacific Northwest and we don't care, and half of us have never even made this dish anyway. Either way, you want to make sure that you spread a thick layer of cream cheese. I'd say I'm using around 2 to 3 tablespoons worth here per pickle. Also, a benefit of using this method is that you could hold the ends of the pickle, and hopefully it makes it less messy so I don't have to use as much paper towels, although I still found myself using them. Once that's covered with cream cheese, we just wrap it up with a couple slices of deli ham. My mother-in-law makes these all the time, but she uses salami. They're really good too. But I think you need to use a smaller pickle, like a gherkin. Another version I like to make is to add 1 extra ingredient. It's where you mix a packet of ranch dressing mix into the softened cream cheese. And I found this one from Thrive Market. It is a clean ranch packet. It's made with just real ingredients. There's no fillers. It's gluten-free, if that matters to you. So it's one way to add a little bit more flavor to your pickle wraps. Once you've wrapped all the ham around the pickles, it's best to refrigerate these for 30 minutes. The cold will help the cream cheese re-solidify just to make it easy to slice into. When you do slice into it, I end up setting aside these end pieces. These are not worthy of your guests. This is a classy snack and you do not want to trash it up with some pathetic end piece. I also recommend cleaning off the knife with a paper towel, of course, after each cup, just so you don't get this like milky film on top of your pickle. Again, show some class. And that's it. These are so good. And they make a good lunch too. If you want some more fun, unusual dishes that you can make with some unconventional foods like we did with the pickle, click right here.